So let's talk about first of all Raja uh, Ram Mohan Roy, or basically we'll start with abolition of sati because this was very big event. Can you see it?
Yes, sir.
So basically, what was sati? So sati was nothing but when husband used to die, so wife also used to, die with the husband. Simple. So Raja Ram Mohan Roy said that it's nothing but it's murder, and he actually launched movement to abolish it, and then there was regulation in 1829 uh, in Bengal, regulation of 1829. It was applicable in the first instance to Bengal, and through this regulation, the sati was abolished in Bengal, 1829. Then later on, it was extended to Bombay and Maharashtra, Bombay and Maharashtra in 1830. This regulation made sati culpable homicide. All right. So बस इतना याद रखना, ईयर याद रखना 1829, and it was made culpable homicide. पहले first it was applicable to only Bengal, and then later on in 1830 it was extended to uh, Maharashtra. ठीक है. इसके बाद नेक्स्ट है फीमेल इन्फेंटिसाइड. सो अगर आप चाहो तो ये चीज़ें लिख सकते हो, विमेन से रिलेटेड चीज़ें जितनी हुई थी related to women. So first was abolition of sati. Second, preventing female infanticide. So we have seen that in that particular time, the female was female child were not female children were not welcomed at that point of time. So what they used to do, they used to kill them, and to prevent this, there was the movement, and then we had Bengal regulation of 1795 and 1804. It, these regulations declared infanticide illegal and equivalent to murder. So illegal and equivalent to murder. Okay. So I'm going to ask question because I don't want you to forget. So Smriti, would you mind telling me that when the regulation came to abolition of sati?
1829.
Okay, good. Then uh, there was this another regulation of 1870. So it made it compulsory for parents to register the birth of all babies and provided for verification of female children for same year after the birth. So so this regulation came up in 1870, and it made mandatory that if anyone who is having girl child, then he has to register or whatever. I mean, it can be girl, it can be boy, or otherwise. the person had to register the birth of all babies same year after the birth. So, say for example, if someone born in 1871, then after the birth of that particular baby, it has to be registered in the same year. Then the third thing was related to women was widow remarriage. So, in this, Ishwar Chand Vidyasagar was the front runner, and because of his effort, Hindu Widow Remarriage Act 1885 was passed. Hindu Widow Remarriage Act 1885 was passed, and what it did, it actually legalized widow remarriage. And then Vishnu Sastri Pandit, he was the follower of Ishwar Chand Vidyasagar. He also founded the Widow Remarriage Association in 1850s. So if question is coming, who founded Widow Remarriage Association, then Vishnu Sastri Pandit. Then Carson Das, he published Satya Prakash in 1852. So if question is coming about Satya Prakash, then remember it's Carson Das. Now I'm giving you chronology. You have to arrange it. Female infanticide, prohibition first, widow remarriage act second, third, prohibition of sati or abolition of sati. So arrange these three in chronological order, and Takshima, I want you to answer it. And you have
Yes,
to
sir.
tell me the year also.
Yes, sir. So, sir, we'll start with female infanticide. There were Bengal regulation in 1795 and 1804.
What
Then
it was in?
it, yes, sir,
Can you please repeat year?
1795,
Female infanticide prohibition 1795, right?
95. Yes, sir. Then we have abolition of sati in 1829
Abolition of sati in 1829.
and Widow Remarriage Act in 1885.
Widow Remarriage Act in 1885. So basically, first is female infanticide, then abolition of sati, and then widow remarriage, right? That's what you're saying, right?
Yes, sir.
Any other act or regulation related to female infanticide? Okay, let me ask someone. Um, Ratan Priya, tell me what happened in regulation of 1870 related to female infanticide.
So this act made it compulsory for parents to register the birth of all babies.
Yes, exactly. Okay. Uh, Tell me who formed the Widow Remarriage Association? Shabrish. Shabrish. Who was the founder of Widow Remarriage Association? Okay, Vishnu Shastri Pandit. All right. And when it was Siddharth, would you mind telling me the year? Okay, Shabrish. Siddharth, can you please tell me the year? Year of formation of Widow Remarriage Association. Okay, 1850. ठीक है. The next is preventing child marriage. So the Native Marriage Act 1872, it prohibited child marriage, but it had limited impact as the act was not applicable to Hindu, Muslim, and other recognized faith. But due to B.M. Malwari's effort, the Age of Consent Act 1891 was enacted, which forbid the marriage of girls below the age of 12. Age of Consent Act was came into the play due to the effort of B.M. Malbari, and what it did, it forbade the marriage of girls below the age of 12. ठीक है. Native Remarriage Act 1872, Age of Consent Act. And in this Age of Consent Act, what was the age of consent? If anyone can tell me, for male and female.
Girls age minimum 12 years and boys 18.
Okay. Then there is this another act called Sarda Act. So what is it? What was the context of this Sarda Act? If anyone can tell me.
Sir, it pushed the marriage age to 18 and 14 for girls.
It pushed the.
Age for the marriage for 18 for boys and 14 for girls.
Okay. So the this Native Marriage Act, it came in 1872. It fixed age of marriage for girls 14 years. 14 years for girls, and 18 years for boys. So this act, Native Marriage Act fixed this age or Sarda fixed this age? I want to know. अब आप लोग पढ़ के आए हो तो थोड़ा बहुत बताओ. बताओ रत्न प्रिया.
Sir, Sharda Act.
पक्का.
Yes, पहले 12 था एज तो फिर शारदा एक्ट आया 1829 समथिंग.
1829 में आया कि 1930 में आया? 1929 में.
Yes, sir. Which further pushed the age for girls and boys.
हाँ, it pushed the age to 18 and 14 for boys and girls respectively. ठीक है. तो शारदा एक्ट के बारे में थोड़ा सा बताओ. आई मीन चलो मैं बता देता हूँ सादा एक्ट के बारे में। आई एम गोइंग टू टेल यू। सो सादा ए एक्ट, इट वाज पास्ड इन 1929। It came into effect, I think, 1930. So you just need to look this particular age, sorry, particular year. And it fixed the age of marriage for girls. It was 14 years. For boys it was 18 years. Later on it was amended, so for girls it increased to 18, and for boys it increased to 21. All right. And it was based upon the name of Harbilas Sarda, best known for having introduced CMA 29, Child Marriage Restraint Act. So it was based on his name, Harbilas Sarda. Remember this thing. अगर क्वेश्चन पूछ ले तो, या पूछ लें कि इसको किसने इंट्रोड्यूस कराने में रोल प्ले किया, तो याद रखना नेम। ठीक है। फिर फ्री इंडिया में आप बताओ कि इन कौन से साल में इस एज को चेंज किया गया। सो इन विच ईयर दिस एज हैज बीन चेंज्ड इन फ्री इंडिया?
1978.
Yes, 1978. So in 1978, the Child Marriage Restraint Amendment Act passed, and it raised the age of marriage for girls from 14 to 18 years, and for boys 18 to 21 years. All right. So now we'll talk about the next dimension. It's education of women. क्या क्या डिस्कस कर लिया है हम लोगों ने? एक लाइन से पहले उसको बताओ। स्मृति आप बताओ एक पॉइंट कोई जो आपको याद आ रहा हो, जो हमने डिस्कस किया हो, एक्सेप्ट जो अभी जस्ट बोला है उसको छोड़ के।
Sir, abolition of sati, female infanticide,
Abolition
regulation,
of sati, regulation
female
of sati. So year, tell me year also.
1829, 1829,
Hmm. Second thing, और कुछ?
female infanticide,
Prevention of female infanticide. Hmm.
the year 1795 and 1804.
And
1804.
पक्का 1804?
Yes, sir.
ठीक है। एक 1870 भी है, ठीक है, इसमें रेगुलेशन ऑफ 1870 जो रजिस्टर करवा रहा है मैरिज, सॉरी नॉट मैरिज, एवरी चाइल्ड का बर्थ हैज़ टू बी रजिस्टर्ड। ठीक है। और इसके बाद नाउ आई आस्क हर्ष। हर्ष आप बताओ, और बताओ क्या क्या डिस्कस किया है अभी तक।
सर नेटिव मैरिज एक्ट 1872।
नेटिव मैरिज एक्ट 1872 क्या हुआ था इसमें?
सर वो 14 ईयर मैरिज फिक्स्ड फॉर फीमेल एंड 18 ईयर फॉर मेल।
यही हुआ था?
यस सर।
पक्का?
यस सर।
एनीवन एल्स? कोई और जो डिफर करेगा?
Sir, it prohibited the child marriage.
एग्जैक्टली। चाइल्ड मैरिज को प्रोहिबिट किया था कि, किस एज की चाइल्ड? दूसरा एक किस किस के लिए एप्लीकेबल था?
So all religion except Hindus and Muslims.
आप कह रही हो कि ओनली हिंदूज के लिए एप्लीकेबल था?
All religion except Hindus and Muslims.
Basically, mostly it was for Christians. So its alternative name was Indian Christian Marriage Act of 1872, and it is also called the Native Marriage Act. First thing, it was enacted during the viceroyalty of Lord Northbrook. He was Viceroy of India from 1872 to 1876. Third thing, according to this act, marriage is legitimate if at least one of the parties is Christian. ठीक है. इसके बाद एक आया था द एज ऑफ कंसेंट एक्ट. उसके बारे में बताओ. एज ऑफ कंसेंट एक्ट 1891. इसके बारे में बताओ. विकास आप बताओगे.
So this was the first mainly BLM Malawari,
हाँ
and
BL.
it's forbid the marriage of a girl below the age of 12.
ठीक है. इसके बाद बताओ और क्या डिस्कस किया हम लोगों ने. इनका पूरा नेम था बी एम मालावरी का, बैराम जी एम मालावरी, एंड ही वाज द पारसी सोशल रिफॉर्मर ऑफ 19th century. He was born in 1853 in Baroda. Okay. So um, it जो he put so much effort for the age of consent act 1891, and it forbade the marriage of girls below the age of 12 years. And I want to ask you one question. What was the stand of Bal Gangadhar Tilak on the Age of Consent Act? Did he support it or opposed it? Rugma. बताओ जल्दी, क्विकली बताना पड़ेगा आपको, ऐसे तो फिर हमें बहुत टाइम हो जाएगा. इफ आई एम आस्किंग यू आपको नहीं पता, जस्ट से सर पास इट. I'll ask someone else. Yes, he opposed it. ठीक है. सो ए हो गया. और क्या डिस्कस किया हम लोगों ने, बताओ इसके बाद. पूजा, just tell me what else we discussed.
So we discussed Sada Act 1929. It fixed the age for marriage to girls at 14 and for boys at 18. And it is also called Child Marriage Restraint Act. After amendment, girls were to get married at 18 and boys at 21. And it was introduced. Arbilas Sarda. It was introduced by Arbilas Sarda. And after that, Child Marriage Restraint Act for Free India, it was passed in 1978. And in that act, girls
Yes.
girls were allowed to marry at 18 and boys at 21.
यस, गुड. ठीक है. शारदा हो गया, और ये एक्ट हो गया. इसके बाद व्हाट एल्स बी डिस्कस्ड. विकास आप बताओ. आकांक्षा, यू टेल मी. इन पांच के अलावा और क्या डिस्कस किया. आकांक्षा. रत्नप्रिया आप बता दो. इन पांच के अलावा और क्या डिस्कस किया. Am I audible or not?
Audible.
चलो, आप जिसको भी आंसर देना हो आप ऐसे कर दो, क्योंकि जो भी आंसर देना चाहे वो दे दे। ऐसे मैं पूछता हूँ, फिर आप लोग आंसर नहीं करते हो। जिसको भी याद है वो बताओ, जल्दी से क्विकली बताओ, फिर ऐसे तो हो नहीं पाएगा। बिडोरी मैरिज आप लोगों ने?
ईश्वर चंद्र विद्यासागर।
हाँ, कब हुआ है?
1885.
1885, ठीक है।
Then
इसके
widow marriage association, that Vishnu Pandit, Vishnu Shastri Pandit.
विष्णु शास्त्री, ठीक है। बिडोरी मैरिज हो गया। इसके बाद और कुछ बच रहा है?
Satya Pratap Prakash, that Karan Das Majli in Gujarati.
सत्य प्रकाश कारसन दास जी, कब था वो? 1852।
Oh,
1852 गुजरात, सत्य प्रकाश कारसन दास, 1852 गुजरात, ठीक है। नाउ विल टॉक अबाउट एजुकेशन ऑफ वुमेन। ये सब चीज़ें याद रखना, दीज आर हाईली फैक्चुअल। हाँ, यस पूजा।
Sir, I'm unable to see your screen, sir.
ओके, नाउ कैन यू सी इट?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so all this I have mentioned: abolition of sati, female infanticide, native marriage act, age of consent act, ये मालाबारी, बिडोरी मैरिज, ठीक है। नाउ लेट्स टॉक अबाउट एजुकेशन ऑफ women. So Calcutta female juvenile. I'm thinking one question, that what is the reason behind that all these things had happened either in the east or west? Not much had happened in the other region of the country. Anyone, if you have any answer for it?
Sir, two great provinces like Kolkata and Bombay is there. That's why, and most intelligentsia is from there. That's why it's taken place.
So why most of the intelligentsia were there only? Why not in other part of country?
Sir, the availability of education system, sir. बेटर एजुकेशन, हायर एजुकेशन वहीं पर से स्टार्ट हुआ था।
सिद्धार्थ, आप बताओ।
Both of them, the Calcutta and Mumbai, both of them were the ports, and they both had the finances. So exchange of finance and exchange of culture was the point. And second, they had easy access to education because they were easily from ports. They can go to London and get the education of liberal society, and then come back India and implement these things for social reforms.
Yeah, very good. Okay, so this Calcutta Female Juvenile Society, it was set up in 1819. Calcutta Female Juvenile Society. It was set up by the Christian missionaries. Then there was this school, Bethune, or Bethune, howsoever you want to pronounce, Bethune School. It was founded by J.E.D. Bethune in 1849. And then Indian Women University in Bombay. It was started by Professor Karve. It was the first university for women. प्रोफेसर कावे इन 1916. ठीक है, तो विमेन फर्स्ट विमेन यूनिवर्सिटी बाय प्रोफेसर कार्वे इन 1960, Bethune School in 1849, and then Calcutta Female Juvenile Society in 1819. It was through Christian missionary. Then Lady Harding College was opened in Lady Harding College. It was opened in 1916. Then Sarojini Naidu went on to become the president of the Indian National Congress in 1925. So remember this thing, that she was the first Indian female, Sarojini Naidu. She became the president of INC, Indian National Congress, in 1825. So she was the first woman or she was the first Indian woman? Anyone?
Indian woman.
Who was the first woman? First women.
Any patient, any patient.
Yes, any wasn't. And she became the Sarojini Naidu became the governor of United Province from 1947 to 49. She held that position. All India Women's Conference established in 1927.
It's 1925 or 1825. The president of INC.
1925. 1825 में तो INC आया भी नहीं था.
SDA.
ठीक है, वो गलती से लिख दिया. ऑल इंडिया Women's Conference established in 1927. ठीक है, सो ये सारी चीज़ें वुमेन की एजुकेशन से रिलेटेड हुई थी. नाउ विल टॉक अबाउट राजा राम मोहन रॉय. See, these things we are discussing, they can come in UPSC and they can come in your state PCS examination, and 100% you will see question in your state PCS examination whatever we are seeing. आप कोई भी whatever state PCS examination you will be giving, they ask from this particular area only. So listen carefully, these facts they ask and UPSC also ask. And one thing I'll tell you, एक question आया था, शायद ये बेथुने स्कूल वाला आया था, कौन सा आया था मुझे याद नहीं. यूपीएससी में पूछा था ना एक क्वेश्चन.
Yes, sir.
वो क्वेश्चन बिहार पीसीएस में बहुत पहले आया था, आपको बताऊं मैं. इसके बाद एक क्वेश्चन था, वो उलगुला क्या था, उलगुलान रिवोल्ट.
उलूगलान सर.
हाँ, उलुगलान. ठीक है, जो उलुगलान रिवोल्ट था, वो क्या कहते हैं, बिहार पीसीएस में आया था 1994 में. एन यूपीएससी ने उसको पूछा, इसको मुंडा रेवेलियन बोलते हैं, है ना. बहुत आई मीन ये क्वेश्चन उन्होंने डायरेक्टली पूछ लिया था कि उलुगलान रिवोल्ट वाज रिलेटेड टू, सीधा सीधा पूछा था. बिरसा मुंडा और अदर ऑप्शंस थे वहाँ पर. तो इसीलिए मैं कह रहा हूँ कि आप ऐसा मत सोचो कि स्टेट पीसीएस को आप अंडरमाइन कर दो. यूपीएससी क्वेश्चन पिक कर लेती है. देखो, बिहार पीसीएस का 94 का क्वेश्चन था जो यूपीएससी ने पिक किया. ठीक है, सो ये सब चीज़ें हम लोग डिस्कस करेंगे. मतलब मैंने क्या किया है कि आपको दे दिया है, इसके बाद पीसीएस और यूपीएससी के जितने पास्ट ईयर के क्वेश्चन आए हैं, सो जितना एनालाइज किया, उनके जो ऑप्शंस थे, ऑप्शंस को उठा के चीज़ें नोट डाउन कर ली, और अभी आई एम डिस्कसिंग विद यू. आपको बताते जा रहा हूँ, डिक्टेट करते जा रहा हूँ, ताकि आप चीज़ें नोट डाउन कर लो, सो दैट कि आपको वो आपका टाइम सेव होगा कि आप एक एक ऑप्शन को ढूंढोगे क्या लिखा है क्या लिखा है. यू डोंट नीड टू डू दैट, बट यू नीड टू लिसन मी, क्योंकि एज सच मैंने कुछ उसको उस तरीके से कंपाइल नहीं किया है, हाथ से लिख के कंपाइल किया है. सो इसके लिए आपको थोड़ा सा यू नीड टू बी केयरफुल विद योर ईयर्स. सो लेट्स टॉक अबाउट राजा राम मोहन रॉय. So Raja Ram Mohan Roy, he is known as the father of Indian Renaissance, एंड देन ही established, उनके अलग अलग नेम थे. अगर आप चाहो तो मैं बता सकता हूँ, काफ़ी सारे उनको he was given some different name. If you want then I can tell you. Should I tell you? आप मुझे एक चीज़ बताओ कि जो राजा राम मोहन रॉय को who gave him title of राजा?
Akbar too, I think.
अकबर टू. ओके, सो उनके नेम सुन लो. फादर ऑफ इंडियन रेनेसां, देन पैगंबर और प्रॉफिट. पैगंबर ऑफ इंडियन नेशनलिज्म. अभी कुछ पूछ ले कि कोई बड़ा सा स्टेटमेंट यूपीएससी दे दे एंड इसमें ही लिख दे कि इज नोन एज प्रॉफिट ऑफ इंडियन नेशनलिज्म ऑल्सो. सो याद रखना, इट्स इट्स राजा राम मोहन रॉय. देन फादर ऑफ मॉडर्न इंडिया. He is also known as bridge between past and future. Then first modern man. Then युग दूत. इस सब राजा राम मोहन रॉय को बोला जाता था. ठीक है. In 1815 he started आत्मीय सभा, and it actually became base for the Brahmo Samaj. So in 1828 he started Brahmo Samaj. And to propagate the ideas of Brahmo Samaj in 1839, Tattva Bodhini Sabha was started by Devendranath Tagore. So it was basically to propagate the idea of Raja Ram Mohan Roy. Yeah, let's get back to Raja Ram Mohan Roy. So he established Brahmo Samaj. Then he believed in monotheism, or he was against the monotheism. I'm giving you two options: monoism and monotheism. So tell me in what he believed, whether he believed in monotheism or monoism. बताओ जल्दी से quickly. Lavanya, would you mind answering it? It was monotheism. Okay, so he believed in monotheism. He wrote gift to monotheist. Gift to monotheist. In 1809, he wrote it. And I have already told you that in 1814 he established Atmiya Sabha in Calcutta to campaign against idolatry. So he was, if the question is coming that he supported idolatry or he was against the idolatry, so he was against the idolatry. इसके बाद caste rigidity, then meaningless ritual and other social ills. Uh, Percept of Jesus, 1820. So who wrote it? Percept of Jesus. बताओ. Raja Ram Mohan Roy. So Raja Ram Mohan Roy wrote it in 1820. Separation of moral and philosophical message of New Testament. Then he aimed at political upliftment of the masses through social reform. He started anti-sati struggle in 1818. Anti-sati struggle he started in 1818, and then government regulation of 1829 declared the practice of sati a crime. He supported David his effort to found the Hindu college in 1870. In 1825, Vedanta College established. So who established Vedanta College? बताओ आप लोग. याद रखना, राजा राम मोहन रॉय. We are talking about. आप लोग आंसर ही नहीं करते हो थोड़ा सा. Why don't you show some active participation? Then Brahmo Samaj was founded in 1829. पहले इसको they used to call Brahmo Sabha. Later on it was renamed Brahmo Samaj. So पहले ब्राह्मो सभा था. जो ब्राह्मो समाज था, so the method was prayers, mediation and reading of the Upanishad. Reading of Upanishad, and it said that Vedas can also be infallible. मतलब Vedas also can be wrong, कहीं कहीं गलत हो सकते हैं. या वेदा 100% सही नहीं है. तो ये सब उन्होंने बोला था, ठीक है. और ब्राह्मो समाज ने भी इस चीज़ को बोला था. So reading of Upanishad was promoted by him, and then long-term agenda of the Brahmo Samaj was to purify Hinduism and to preach monotheism, and it was based on the twin pillar of reason and Vedas and Upanishad. So अगर कोई क्वेश्चन पूछ ले कि राजा राम मोहन रॉय promoted Upanishad or something like this, so remember this thing, the answer is yes. He organized the Dharm Sabha to Raja. Now a question can be asked that who opposed uh, Brahmo Samaj. So it's Raja Radhakant Dev. Raja Radhakant Dev, he organized Dharm Sabha to counter Brahmo Samaj propaganda. Uh, Raja Ram Mohan Roy died in 1833. So इतना याद रखना, बस इतना ही है राजा राम मोहन रॉय के बारे में. कुछ आप लोगों को ऐड करना है, अगर किसी को कुछ एडिशनल पता है तो आप ऐड कर दो. इनके दो तीन चीज़ें ही हैं. एक देर आर 2-3 थिंग्स. आत्मीय सभा, सेकंड थिंग ब्राह्मो समाज, थर्ड थिंग monotheism, fourth thing repudiated the infallibility of Vedas, asked to read Upanishad and Vedas, opposed idolatry, credit for sati abolition. इतना ही है. और कुछ किसी को है तो बताओ आप. एनीवन एल्स जिसको कुछ ऐड करना हो इसमें.
Can you please repeat the organization of Raja Radhakant Dev?
उनका था धर्म सभा. इनकी राजा राम मोहन रॉय की बुक आप नोट डाउन कर सकते हो. गिफ्ट टू मोनोथियस्ट. इट वाज रिटन इन 1809 एंड परसेप्ट ऑफ जीसस 1820. ठीक है. ही डाइड इन 1833. सो ये आपके सामने 6-7 पॉइंट लिख दिए. बस इतना ही आपका हो गया. अगर आप चाहो तो यही आपके नोट्स हो सकते हैं. नाउ लेट्स टॉक अबाउट Maharshi Dayanand, sorry, Devnath, Devendranath Tagore. So he first thing that he was the father of whom?
Rabindranath Tagore.
Yes, father of Rabindranath Tagore. Second thing, he gave new life to Brahmo Samaj, definite form and shape to the theist movement when he joined Samaj in 1842. He headed Tattva Bodhini Sabha. Tat Bodhini Sabha was founded in 1839. So basically, he was very much inspired by the Raja Ram Mohan Rai, and in order to propagate his teaching or ideas, he started Tat Bodhini Sabha.
So you have written 1842. Can you elaborate? I missed that.
He joined it 1842.
So the name of organization.
The organization is Tat Bodhini Sabha. I think he joined this in this 1842 Brahmo Samaj.
Brahma Samaj.
Just check it, cross check it. When did he join? एक बार क्रॉस चेक कर लो आप.
Yes, sir. He joined it in 1842 and Tattva Bodhini was started in 1839.
ठीक है, तो कुछ थोड़ा बहुत कंफ्यूजन हो सकता है बिकॉज आई कैन ऑल्सो मेक मिस्टेक, तो एक बार क्रॉस चेक कर लो. ऑलराइट, सो देन केशव केशव चंद्र सेन. He joined Brahmo Samaj in 1858, and he was dismissed from the office of Acharya in 1865. Kesub Chandra and his follower founded the Brahmo Samaj of India. So if someone is asking that who founded the Brahmo Samaj of India, it was the Keshav Chandra Sen in 1866. ठीक है, इस चीज़ को याद रखना. While Devendranath Tagore Samaj came to be known as Adi Brahmo Samaj. So Devendranath is Adi Brahmo. After 1878, the disgusted follower of Keshav Chandra set up a new organization, Sadharan Brahmo Samaj. So what happened? That Keshav Chandra Sen, he set up his daughter marriage with Raja of Kuch Bahar, and the daughter was, I think, minor or some age of 14 age or 12 years old. So the follower of Keshav Chandra was very much angry, and they started Sadharan Brahmo Samaj. Where is Dayal Singh College located? Dayal Singh College was located in Lahore. Now let's talk about significance of the Samaj. Which Samaj we are talking about? Brahmo Samaj, right? So basically denounced polytheism and idol worship. First, denounced polytheism and idol worship. Second, discarded faith in डिवाइन अवतार्स। अभी ये क्वेश्चन पूछ ले कि ब्राह्मो समाज बिलीव्ड इन अवतार और इनकारनेशन, तो आप यू हैव टू आंसर दैट दे डिस्कार्डेड दिस पर्टिकुलर थिंग. Then they denied that any scripture could enjoy the status of ultimate authority, transcending human reason and conscience. So basically जितनी भी scriptures थी उनकी ultimate authority को इन्होंने deny कर दिया. And they it took no definite stand on the doctrine of karma and transmigration and left it to individual brahmos to believe either way. So जो doctrine of karma था उनके ऊपर इसका कोई stand था नहीं. And it criticized the caste system. ठीक है, सो इतना हो गया. अब कोई आप याद रखना, कल आपसे पूछूंगा तभी आगे बढ़ेंगे. ये सब चीज़ें यू नीड टू रिमेंबर ईच एंड एवरीथिंग. मग अप, सिंपल. Now let's talk about प्रार्थना समाज. आत्माराम पांडुरंग and his brother. So basically Atmaram Pandurang and his brother Dadoba Pandurang in 1867, where it was started in Maharashtra. It was the movement for religious and social reform. It emphasizes on the monotheism. Again, same thing, monotheism. And it relied on education and persuasion and not on confrontation with Hindu orthodoxy. So 4 point social agenda they had. First agenda, disapproval of caste system. Second agenda, women's education. Third, widow remarriage. Fourth one, raising the age of consent for both male and female. ठीक है. प्रार्थना समाज had its prominent leader Mahadev Govind Ranade, 1842 to 1901. He died. Then R.G. Bhandarkar, 1837 to 1925. Then N.G. Chandrasekhar, 1855 to 1923. So this is not the time when they were associated. This is then when they were born. This is when they died. ठीक है. Next, let's talk about Ishwar Chandra Vidyasagar. So his ideas was blend of Indian and Western thought. Blend of Indian and Western thoughts. In 1850, he became principal of Sanskrit College. He determined to break the priestly monopoly and scriptural knowledge. He opened Sanskrit College to non-Brahmins. He started a movement in support of widow remarriage. He was the crusader against the child marriage and polygamy, and he was the secretary of Bethune School that was established in 1849. And he was one of the pioneers of higher education for women in India. ठीक है. Now let's talk about Paramhans Mandali. It was founded in 1849, Maharashtra. It believed in one God. It intervened in breaking caste rules. It advocated widow remarriage and widow women's education. Its branches existed in Pune, Satara, and other town of Maharashtra. Then we have student literacy and scientific societies. Student literacy and scientific societies. ज्ञान प्रकाशक मंडलीज, ज्ञान प्रसारक मंडलीज. They too had two branches. Uh, One was in Marathi, the other one was in Gujarati. It was formed in 1848 and its aim was to start a school for girls. Anything you want to ask? तो इतनी चीज़ें हैं, इनको आप याद रखना.